Coristina D. Com D, te descongestiona.
Esse medicamento é contraindicado em caso de suspeita de dengue.
Bom dia, companheiros da TV 247, companheiros que acompanham sempre aqui os nossos 30 minutos diários de bate-papo com a Tereza Cruvinel. Sejam todos muito bem-vindos com aquele cheiro enorme nessa segunda-feira para a gente abrir os caminhos e torcer por um país melhor.
Olá pessoal, bem-vindos de volta aos vídeos aqui do canal. Se vocês acompanham nossos vídeos aqui, vocês sabem que eu prometi voltar na semana passada, dia 21, mas a gente teve esse atrasinho e eu posso garantir pra vocês que foi por uma boa causa. Vocês já devem ter começado a reparar em algumas mudanças aí já nesse começo de vídeo, e eu acabei atrasando porque eu estava realmente terminando essa mudança na aparência aí do canal e também fazendo alguns testes de filmagem e coisa e tal, pra trazer um conteúdo bacana pra vocês aqui nesse ano de 2020. Eu tô aqui nesse vídeo hoje pra contar pra vocês as novidades que eu preparei aqui pra esse novo ano, nosso terceiro ano de canal, uau! Só pra constar, o aniversário do canal não é hoje, é 15 de fevereiro, mas eu resolvi trazer esse vídeo logo pra gente já entrar nas mudanças e ano novo, vida nova, não é mesmo? Mas antes eu quero introduzir vocês aí ao último desafio da moda que tá rolando aí na comunidade internacional de artistas, que é o desafio Toon Me. Basicamente, o objetivo do desafio é pegar uma foto sua, cortá-la na metade e fazer uma metade de desenho por cima da sua foto. Olha só que bacana. E como eu tô sofrendo pressões, assim, da vida, tipo assim, nossa, você vai participar também? Eu vou participar também. Então, eu vou estar lançando agora o speed de eu fazendo o meu desafio Toon Me, enquanto eu conto pra vocês quais vão ser as novidades do canal daqui pra frente. Bora lá! Bom, gente, eu pensei algumas mudanças, algumas coisinhas para os vídeos a partir desse ano. E todas essas mudanças elas foram motivadas principalmente por algumas coisas que vinham me incomodando, não só nos vídeos que eu estava produzindo, mas também no processo de criação desses vídeos. E eu quero falar um pouquinho a respeito dessas duas coisinhas. A primeira coisa que eu quero discutir é a questão de qualidade versus quantidade de vídeos. E basicamente o que acontecia era que eu tinha essa obrigação de postar toda terça-feira um vídeo novo e basicamente virou isso mesmo, uma obrigação. Precisa postar esse vídeo, precisa postar esse vídeo, então assim, muitas vezes eu postava um vídeo sem conseguir trabalhar exatamente o que eu queria trabalhar nele, saca? Eu sentia que aquele vídeo ele precisava de mais tempo de trabalho nele pra ficar do jeito que eu queria, precisava de mais tempo pra eu conseguir passar tudo o que eu queria, ou então eu precisava transformar aquilo em 2 vídeos, mas como eu tinha aquela obrigação, não, isso precisa ser postado, isso precisa estar nesse formato, isso precisa funcionar desse jeito, e aí eu acabava fazendo vídeos que eu simplesmente não gosto do resultado, e assim, eu não gostaria mais de enviar pra vocês vídeos que eu não considero tão bons quanto eles deveriam ficar. Então, por isso, talvez algumas vezes aconteça de eu não postar o vídeo todas as terças-feiras, porque alguns vídeos eu sinto que existe uma necessidade de eu colocar mais tempo de trabalho nele, então pode ser que alguns vídeos demorem 15 dias para sair, então não necessariamente vai ter vídeo todas as terças-feiras. É uma escolha que eu fiz para conseguir valorizar a qualidade do conteúdo que eu vou entregar para vocês. Eu espero que, apesar de eu não ter conseguido fazer isso toda terça-feira, eu consiga trazer um conteúdo que seja muito mais interessante. O segundo ponto que eu quero conversar com vocês, obviamente está relacionado, mas é a questão entre a obrigação de estar trazendo conteúdo para vocês e quanto eu, sei lá, me divirto fazendo eles. Porque quando eu comecei o canal, na verdade, assim, eu queria ajudar e eu tava fazendo aquele negócio porque eu gostava, saca? Tipo, eu gosto de passar isso, eu gosto de fazer esse tipo de de desafio aqui, mostrando pra vocês, mostrando o meu trabalho. E no final das contas eu acabei cedendo a várias pressões, tipo assim, tanto de gente que falava tipo, não, mas eu gosto de tutorial, faz tutorial, 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 tutorial. E acabou que tipo assim, acabei ficando basicamente num bolo assim, tá aqui, nossa, eu preciso entregar tutorial, toda terça-feira. Eu preciso entregar tutorial de tal coisa que as pessoas estão pedindo. Então eu acho que chegou o momento de eu dar um passo pra trás. Não só, tipo assim, derrubar essa obrigação, porque esse negócio de dar muita obrigação acaba perdendo, sabe? Eu acabo fazendo uma obrigação de coisas que eu não gostaria de estar falando. Eu acho que não é por aí, porque se eu continuar assim, o canal não vai ter muito futuro. Então eu quero fazer vídeos mais diversos, não só trazer conteúdos mais diversos pra vocês, mas também valorizar um pouco mais a arte do trabalho. E se não for pra fazer o que eu gosto, não vale a pena. Então, vou estar trazendo muito mais coisas além de simplesmente tutoriais e tutoriais que vocês pedem, coisa e tal. É porque eu acho interessante dar uma variada maior no conteúdo.
Quase lá.
Eu não vou contar pra vocês agora quais vão ser as novas séries do calendário de 2020, porque vai ser surpresa, eu vou soltando aí aos poucos nas semanas quais vão ser esses conteúdos. Mas eu já vou falar que vocês podem esperar por desafios, processos de produção, coisas mais diversas. E não vamos deixar de ter tutoriais, vocês ainda vão ter tutoriais, mas eu vou tentar criar séries de tutoriais que pareçam mais interessantes pra mim e pensar basicamente, ao invés de ficar simplesmente ouvindo 72 pessoas que aparecem no meu inbox todos os dias falando que elas precisam de tutorial de tal coisa, eu vou pensar o que eu acho que vai funcionar melhor, o que eu consigo passar melhor. Quais são os tipos de tutoriais que realmente me ajudariam quando eu tava lá atrás começando a desenhar. Agora, para fechar o vídeo, vocês estão vendo aí que eu tô fazendo meu desafio Tom Me, e eu vou deixar aqui algumas dicas para você que ainda não fez, mas tá querendo fazer esse desafio. Eu quero dar uma dica que é basicamente o que eu tô vendo que tá diferenciando os Tumi medíocres dos Tumis realmente bacanas, que é basicamente, use a sua criatividade. Não simplesmente pegue seu rosto e desenhe por cima e copie as formas e coloque um sombreado qualquer. Pense diferente, faz um estilo diferente, cartooniza de verdade, ou então transforma você numa criatura mágica. Pensa alguma coisa diferente, pensa fora da caixinha, que vocês estão vendo que eu não tô simplesmente copiando meu rosto, eu tô me transformando num personagem de RPG, que eu usava há algum tempo atrás, então assim, pense essas coisas, pense em magia, se transforme num anjo, se transforme em alguma coisa bacana. Olá pessoal e bem-vindos ao resultado do nosso desafio de heróis e vilões. Antes de mais nada, eu quero dizer, claro, parabéns e obrigado pra todo mundo que participou. Eu recebi muitos desenhos legais, muitos desenhos bacanas. Infelizmente eu só posso escolher 10 pra estar aqui nesse vídeo e eu só posso escolher 2 pra ganhar. Mas parabéns pra todo mundo, mesmo que você não tenha entrado aqui no corte do top 10. Pra escolher esses 10 melhores desenhos, eu escolhi o critério de criatividade e coesão, não só no design do personagem, mas também na historinha que eu pedi pra vocês enviarem juntos. E também a fidelidade ao tema do desafio, que era super-heróis e super-vilões. Vamos lá pro nosso top 5 heróis. Os 4 primeiros eles não estão em ordem de código, envio. Vamos lá. Top 5 heróis do nosso site. Mateus 282. José Ryan Arda. Mateus Gomes Ribeiro. Aurora Boreal. E o nosso vencedor é Álvaro Castilho. Uau! E agora vamos para o nosso top 5 vilões, que também não está em ordem de pódio, está em ordem de envio, com exceção do primeiro lugar. Vamos lá. Lucas Rodrigues de Andrade. Otávio Rafael. Mika. Kiki Mochizuki. E, em primeiro lugar, Grazi. Parabéns, Álvaro. Parabéns, Grazi. Vou estar lançando aqui agora o speech do desenho que eu desenhei, o design deles. Vou estar comentando as razões esses dois desenhos. Antes de finalizar, claro, obrigado e parabéns para todo mundo. E aos dois campeões que estarei sendo contado com vocês ainda essa semana pro envio do desenho. Quem não lembra, esse tinha prêmio físico. Beijo pra vocês e até o próximo vídeo. Antes de mais nada, eu quero falar um pouquinho a respeito da história que o Álvaro enviou do personagem dele. O personagem se chama O Pouquinho. O Álvaro descreve o personagem como uma entidade cósmica simbiótica com um hospedeiro. O poder dele está fundido dentro do malhete e é preciso que um coração virtuoso e justo empunhe essa arma e faça a palavra de emulação. Sendo assim, o usuário vai ganhar poderes como super força, super agilidade, atenção, verdade, sabedoria e coragem. O objetivo do conselheiro é defender a liberdade religiosa, política e o direito ao conhecimento de todos.
Está longe demais.
Eu escolhi o design do Álvaro entre todos que foram enviados, porque eu senti que foi um dos que ficaram mais fiéis ao gênero. Eu leio a história, eu gosto desse desenho, o pensamento de diversos personagens diferentes, tanto de Marvel, tanto de DC, tanto de outras editoras menores, super-heróis. Então, assim, eu consigo claramente enxergar essa história dentro de um quadrinho de uma grande editora. Não parece uma coisa, tipo assim, amadora. Então, assim, eu achei a história muito bem pensada. E o design também é a mesma coisa. Eu vejo no design do Álvaro elementos de diversos super-heróis diferentes, mas no final das contas, quando você olha o trabalho inteiro, quando você junta tudo, acabou que ficou um design e uma história original muito bacana e muito coesa. O design do uniforme é extremamente super-heróico e é um design que ficou bonito, é um design que ficou consistente com a história da obra. Então, parabéns, Álvaro, você está aqui em primeiro lugar pelo ótimo trabalho em consistência e em trabalhar no jeito. Eu acho que o design é bastante. Parabéns.
Não, pela verdade, continue assim, logo a gente acaba.
Está longe demais.
Para o nosso vilão, que foi a Grazi, o personagem dela, domador de Deus. Ela conta que a origem do personagem é uma história fictícia criada por uma garota
Está fora de
e que
alcance.
chegou nas mãos de negra que deu origem ao nosso vilão. O poder do nosso vilão é domar as pessoas a partir do sangue. Coleta o sangue, guarda no guarda-chuva e aplica o sangue. Isso faz que ela se torne possível controlar essa pessoa. Os objetivos do super vilão são controlar a vida das pessoas, criando histórias infelizes para elas. Atualmente eu estou me dedicando a sentar e ler todo o conteúdo que existe atualmente de Sandman, do Neil Gaiman, e eu 100% vejo esse personagem da Grazi saindo de uma história do Sandman, desde a história de origem, poderes e também a aparência do personagem. Então, assim, é tipo assim, um personagem que ficou muito criativo, só que sem fugir do nosso gênero, saca? Porque eu recebi alguns vilões que, tipo assim, que acaba sendo tipo uma coisa que parece muito mais um anime, alguma coisa assim, do que um quadrinho de uma DC, de uma Marvel, de uma Vertigo. E eu vejo esse personagem saindo, tipo, principalmente desse universo de Sandman, e eu achei isso simplesmente maravilhoso. Nossa, a Grazi, ela não é a primeira vez, se eu me lembro direito, que ela envia desenhos pros desafios e nunca decepciona, sabe? É sempre um design bacana, legal, visualmente interessante. Então, parabéns mais uma vez, Grazi. É muito legal o seu design. Eu acho que é o ponto forte, mais ainda que a história, é esse design desse personagem, que ficou criativo, bacana, bem diferente e não fugiu da consistência e do que foi pedido a respeito do gênero de super vilões.
Quase lá. É só meter a mão na ferida por mais um tempinho.
Está longe demais. Tenho que escolher um alvo. Sua empresa não está na internet? Então onde ela está? Sua empresa não está na internet? Então onde ela está? Na Go... Preciso de um alvo.
Santos, né? Eu fui secretário executivo do Ministério durante um bom tempo e logo depois fiquei com o ministro nesse período de transição.
E a gente, na verdade, eu publiquei um artigo seu recente, que foi publicado também no GGN, você falava sobre a questão do coronavírus, o impacto do coronavírus, especialmente para a população negra, né? Como é que você está vendo o avanço da pandemia e o fator racial nessa discussão também? Acho que a gente não vai. Acho que a gente está com um problema sério de conexão. Vamos ver se a gente consegue prosseguir.
Preciso chegar mais perto. Está longe demais.
Infelizmente. Gente, eu vou tentar remarcar com ele numa outra situação. Não sei o que aconteceu com a conexão. Não sei se ele está me ouvindo também, porque caiu a imagem agora nesse momento.
Preciso de algo.
Não está muito.
Marcos, acho que você está com um problema de conexão. Vamos tentar, vamos ver se a gente consegue prosseguir. Você publicou um artigo que falava sobre a questão racial e a pandemia. Vou te pedir para falar exatamente sobre isso, sobre como essa questão se distribui de maneira desigual na população brasileira.
O porão está quase cheio. Só mais um pouquinho e já é.
Infelizmente, acho que a gente não vai poder. Gente, pena. Vamos remarcar. Eu vou remarcar com ele numa outra oportunidade. A gente testa antes, mas a gente já teve problema para se conectar antes e ela não está entrando aqui. Eu acho que a conexão dele lá falhou. A gente também está tendo muito problema de conexão do nosso lado, mas a gente vai retomar em uma outra oportunidade. Peço desculpas a vocês e a gente volta talvez amanhã, num outro dia. Obrigado.
Vamos próximo. Tem uns tiros naquele navio da Aliança quando a gente passar. Tá sentindo o sal no ar? Agora você tá em casa.
Hoje vamos acompanhar 5 vídeos inexplicáveis em que possivelmente atividade paranormal foi capturada.
Saudações, viajante.
Esse vídeo, postado no Reddit pelo usuário The Lector, não é exatamente assustador, mas é inexplicável, e mostra uma filmagem feita por uma câmera de segurança dentro de uma loja de conveniência em um posto de gasolina. No vídeo, vemos uma mulher saindo da loja para buscar seu cartão de crédito, e momentos depois, preste atenção no que acontece quando ela retorna.
Dude, what did she get? Did she get...
Minhas facas estão
Did she buy
prontas.
I don't know.
Faça
No,
com que
because she didn't have a
pague
card.
caro.
Did she walk right back out the store? I guess she forgot her money. It almost looks like Ashlyn. Now watch. Right? That... Hey, dude. Hey, look at her face. She like, what the hell? No, watch. Look at her. She had to go back out and get her card. Did I leave my card?
O cartão de
Thank goodness it's only a movie. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for another top 10 scariest movie monsters.
Boy.
Before we begin, we publish new videos every day, so be sure to subscribe for more great content. For this list, we're looking at the most frightening monsters ever to haunt the silver screen. They don't need to originate from the horror genre either. They just have to be scary. If you don't see your favorites here, be sure to check out our first list on the subject. Number 10, The Dementors, the Harry Potter franchise. The story of the boy wizard is now famous throughout the world. Since the franchise is geared towards children and young adults, it might seem an unlikely place for monsters. However, when you think about it, there are few things as terrifying as a Dementor. These ghoulish prison guards feed off of joy and happiness, draining it from whoever they get close to. Worse, if you step too far out of line, they will literally suck your soul out. This act, known as the Dementor's Kiss, leaves the victim a husk, alive, but only that. That might actually be a fate worse than death. Number 9, Rich People, Society.
Don't worry, we'll get your share. We're all gonna get our share.
There's nothing classy about the upper class in this Brian Usna scarefest. The overly affluent are often regarded as a drain on society, exploiting the lower and working class to maintain their lifestyles with minimum effort.
Is it really that boring, being rich?
The rich people in this satire also feed off the poor, except literally in this case. Engaging in mutant orgies, they suck the life out of their victims while melding together and indulging in all their perverse fantasies.
What? A beauty mark!
Stomach-turningly grotesque, their true forms are nightmarish and insatiable. Revealed to be an alien species, they have no regard for the horrors or harms they inflict on others. Number 8, The Demon, Night of the Demon. The oldest entry on our list, and yet no less horrifying, this monster serves as a firm reminder. Don't go summoning demons. The result of a satanic cult's meddling, this beast is straight from the depths of hell. With its gigantic size, huge claws, and sharp teeth, it relentlessly pursues its victims. Appearing in a cloud of smoke amidst an incessant shattering noise, the demon is never quite solid as it looms hauntingly in the dark, making it seem as though it could appear anywhere at any time. Number 7, Jack in the Box, Krampus. Okay, even before this movie came out, everyone agreed that this was the freakiest toy ever invented. But in this 2015 Christmas-themed chiller, it was taken to a whole new level. The first time the Trapp family finds this thing, it's eating one of the other kids whole, with a huge engorged body and a face that only the predator could love. This is what nightmare fuel looks like. This hellish minion of the Krampus could ruin anyone's Christmas, or Halloween for that matter. If this is what awaits kids on the naughty list, we'll be good. We promise. Number 6, Crowley Monster, Jack Brooks' Monster Slayer.
Incredible.
Brought to life by none other than the great Robert Englund, who's perhaps best known for another icon of horror, this monster sorta makes Freddy Krueger look like a daydream. After Professor Crowley pulls a classic "this will end badly" move by opening a mysterious crate, he becomes possessed by the heart of something. We're going with demon. In time, the cursed heart takes over the professor, transforming him into an obese, malformed nightmare. And after he sucks the life from his students, they transform into similar monstrosities. This horror show will need some serious slang. Number 5, The Creeper, Jeepers Creepers.
The hell is that?
Ever have those moments when you think you should have left well enough alone? That's probably what was going through Derry and Trish Jenner's heads after they encountered the Creeper. Revealed to be an ancient creature, it comes out of hibernation every 23 years, and for 23 days, it stalks and devours its human victims, salvaging body parts to replenish its own form, sometimes keeping them alive for as long as it needs them. Able to smell fear, once it detects something appealing to its chosen victim, it will ceaselessly hunt them down. Number 4. Little Monsters, Cloverfield.
Okay, run. Actually, run. Hey, let's start running. Just run. Let's start running right now. Let's start running now.
Dealing with a colossal monster is bad enough. They can step on you, topple buildings, cover ground relatively quickly, etc. But there's something so much worse about these speedy, spiky little things. Fast, and with huge snapping jaws and insect-like legs, it's like the Revenge of the Red Lobster buffet. Not to mention, they've got a hell of a bite. And it's not just the infection you have to worry about, as symptoms and side effects may include nausea, bleeding from the ears and eyes, and internal, explosion. Number 3. Ghouls, the Pack. The owner of a roadside diner is hiding a few things, and it's not just the recipe to a secret sauce. Out in the French countryside, Le Spac is harboring a family of mutants who feast on human flesh. Yeah, it's unwitting travelers who are on the menu at this greasy spoon. With deformed faces reminiscent of something from Silent Hill, the ghouls are single-minded. It'd be bad enough having to deal with just one of these ugly critters, but a whole brood, or pack if you will, give this place a bad online review, and just keep driving to the next fast food joint instead. Number 2. Jaws from Jaws. Unlike the other monsters on our list, which are products of a nightmarish fantasy, this creature was even more terrifying to viewers by virtue of being all too real. While sharks really are not the savage killers they're often chalked up to be in film, this fictitious monster from the deep was. Terrorizing the townsfolk and summer people of Amity Island, and devouring anyone foolish enough to swim, the titular shark terrified a generation of moviegoers into staying out of the water. A force of nature to be reckoned with, it seemed no one could stop this man-eater.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Before we reveal our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Reveal our top pick. Here are a few honorable mentions. Number 1. Pinhead from Hellraiser.
This isn't for your eyes.
Hellpriest and leader of the Cenobites, formerly human beings who now exist in an alternate dimension, and who practice brutal and grotesque acts of sadomasochism. He is one monster you'll never forget.
We'll tear your soul apart.
Able to travel to Earth when a puzzle box known as the Lament Configuration is opened, he seeks to torture humans and gather their souls. Unlike other horror villains of this era, he is articulate and imposing.
You solved the box. We came. Now you must come with us. Taste our pleasures.
He may not be as gruesome to look at as some of the other creatures in the franchise, like the Engineer, but there's no denying that his iconic visage will make your flesh crawl.
We have such sights to show you.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from Watch Mojo and subscribe for new videos every day.
Esse não some.
these are the beasts that go bump in the night. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 scariest movie monsters. For this list, we're ranking frightening monsters from the movie worlds of horror, science fiction, and other genres. Those creatures that haunt our nightmares, regardless of whether they're born monstrous or are created through some accident or act of nature.
Got pretty good at it, haven't I? Yeah, it's almost second nature.
We're excluding human killers and animals gone amok, though. Of course, given that we might be discussing some creature feature origin stories and motivations here, a mild spoiler alert might also be in order.
Remember, you chased those brats. Almost got him, Henry. Almost. Don't you want another chance?
Number 10, Lipstick Face Demon, Insidious.
It's not the house that's haunted. It's your son.
There are a lot of monsters in the Insidious world, but this one just might scare us the most.
I can still hear that voice.
This red-faced entity is one of the most memorable villains from this first installment of the Insidious franchise, as it's a frightening example of exactly what terrors are lurking in the Further, an astral plane where lost, dead souls are forced to wander. The lipstick-faced demon was played by Joseph Bishara, but with its bright red skin and deep-set, frightening eyes, it's honestly tough to distinguish any human features from the horrific, otherworldly nightmare. Number 9, Mutant Baby, Eraserhead.
Oh, you are sick.
Nightmarish and surreal, this body horror flick from visionary director David Lynch has been haunting the dreams of audiences for years. Thanks largely in part to the presence of this iconic movie creature. The baby from Eraserhead is often seen as reflective of protagonist Harry Spencer's fear of sex and fatherhood. Sickly, screaming, and misshapen, it's a mutated being barely recognizable as humanoid, and it serves as one of the most memorably frightening effects in film history.
That's impossible.
Number 8, Pazuzu, The Exorcist.
Where's Reagan? In here with us.
As one of the most disturbing and iconic horror films of all time, The Exorcist has haunted the dreams of moviegoers for decades. One of the reasons for this is the movie's equally legendary antagonist, Pazuzu.
You know what she did? Your daughter.
This demon starts out with the name Captain Howdy, when it's the imaginary friend of Linda Blair's Regan McNeil. But it isn't long before Pazuzu's true colors are shown.
You really don't want me to play, huh? No, I do.
Oh, yeah.
Said no.
Through its violent and perverse possession of Regan, we are eventually led to the climactic exorcism scene.
It's the power of Christ that compels you. The power of Christ compels you.
And although we only get a couple of brief glimpses of Pazuzu during the film, the character's impact would go on to influence countless horror fans and filmmakers in the years to come.
I'm Damien Cows. And I'm the devil.
Number 7, Pumpkinhead, Pumpkinhead.
He already has.
As a tool of vengeance for distraught father Ed Harley after the death of his son, the titular Pumpkinhead is a clawed and malevolent demon with a thirst for blood. In this debut directorial feature from legendary special effects artist Stan Winston, veteran character actor Lance Henriksen plays Harley.
Can't you stop this? Can't you call it off?
But it's the Pumpkinhead design that is the standout, as an example of Winston's infamous practical and imaginative creature design. The physically imposing Halloween beast has also helped the film itself gain fans some 20-plus years after its initial release.
I'm the one you want!
Number 6. Humanoid Crawlers, The Descent.
Hey, there's something down here!
Hope you're not afraid of the dark, or dark caves, because that's exactly where you'll find these next movie monsters, which prey upon you when you're most vulnerable.
They're totally blind. And judging from what we've seen, I'd say they use sound to hunt with.
Director Neil Marshall's The Descent was a nerve-wracking exercise in tension even before these humanoid crawlers show up, thanks to a plot that has a group of young women spelunking in pitch-black, close-quartered caves.
I'm dying, I can't fucking breathe.
When the creatures do surface, however, all survival bets are off, and Marshall's film enters true monster movie territory. These hideously malformed, human-like cousins of the vampire bat are bound to give you nightmares for weeks. Number 5. Brundlefly, the Fly.
I'm afraid!
Don't be afraid!
No. Be afraid. Be very afraid.
David Cronenberg has managed to gross us out and freak us out as the master of body horror cinema for over 40 years. Yet this film might just be the man's greatest legacy.
I know an old lady who swallowed a fly. Perhaps she'll die.
The Brundlefly exists as the result of a tragic accident which befalls scientist Seth Brundle. As his experiments in teleportation go horribly awry, his DNA is combined with that of a common housefly. Although the mutation initially gives Brundle super strength, agility, and endurance, it isn't long before the scientist's body begins to become more fly than human. Devolving deeper and deeper into a horrific hybrid that has Brundle literally begging for extinction.
We'll be the ultimate family. A family of 3 joined together in one body. More human than I am alone.
Number 4. Pennywise, It.
Kiss me, fat boy.
Those suffering from coulrophobia, which is an uncharacteristic fear of clowns, should probably avoid contact with this next creature, as it's an evil, fear-mongering entity that decides to take residence upon Earth as Pennywise the Dancing Clown.
Excuse me, sir. Do you have Prince Albert in a can? You do? Well, you better let the poor guy out.
In this film adaptation of author Stephen King's classic story, Pennywise is portrayed with vicious glee by actor Tim Curry.
Hi, Georgie. Aren't you going to say hello?
Brandishing sharpened teeth and a piercing stare guaranteed to chill the bones of just about anyone. Not just those suffering from coulrophobia, the sadistic serial killer not only knows all of your deepest fears, but he can shapeshift as well. So no matter what form it takes, it is sure to be terrifying.
See you in your dreams. Oh, come back anytime. Bring your friends.
Number 3. Pale Man, Pan's Labyrinth.
Sois vos, habéis regresado.
Director Guillermo del Toro has a wild and fertile imagination when it comes to his animated creatures. Yet very few have disturbed or frightened us more than the Pale Man from the Spanish-Mexican fantasy Pan's Labyrinth. As part of the second task assigned to young Ophelia by the mysterious Fawn character, the Pale Man is a child-consuming monster that noiselessly presides over a feast.
Iréis a un lugar muy peligroso. Tened cuidado. Lo que ahí dormita no es humano.
Ophelia is warned by her fairy companions not to touch or eat anything in the Pale Man's lair, lest she risk disrupting the menacing creature. Unfortunately, the curious young girl can't help herself and steals 2 grapes. This releases the blind Pale Man from his position, after which it shockingly grabs 2 eyeballs from the table and raises them to its horrifying face so that it may chase after the disobedient little girl. It's a legendary scene that stands as a cornerstone of Del Toro's film. Number 2. 2. The Alien, also known as the Xenomorph, the Alien franchise. Is there anything more frightening than an intelligent, relentless, hateful killing machine from outer space?
Get away from her, you bitch!
We didn't think so.
Bullshit. You still don't understand what you're dealing with, do you?
The Xenomorphs are an alien species that's been hunting for human hosts since their big screen debut in director Ridley Scott's 1979 sci-fi horror classic Alien.
Perfect organism. Its structural perfection is matched only by its hostility.
And who continue to fascinate us with appearances in film, video games, and comics to this day. The Xenomorphs have acid for blood, sharp claws, and a tendency to impregnate their human victims with smaller larvae, which then burst through the host's stomach hours later. With an existence dedicated only to hunting, killing, and serving their queen, is it any wonder that these not-so-friendly aliens are so scary?
Who are you expecting, Santa Claus?
Before we reveal our number 1 pick, here are some honorable mentions.
Okay, run. Hey, run. Hey, let's start running. Let's run. Let's run. Let's start running right now.
Number 1, The Thing, The Thing.
Clear.
Director John Carpenter would cement his reputation as one of cinema's true masters with this legendary reimagining of 1951's The Thing from Another World.
Look there. Pat, the compass is in a spin.
Geiger's up to the top.
In this sci-fi horror, a group of researchers located in a remote Antarctic outpost are terrorized by a smart and malevolent alien life form that's able to take on the appearance of anyone or anything.
I don't know what the hell's in there. It's weird and pissed off, whatever it is.
Paranoia and tension take over from this point, as mistrust and murder lead up to some stellar, iconic special effects work from Rob Bottin and Stan Winston. The less said about this one, the better. If you haven't seen The Thing, then buckle yourself in for one terrifyingly scary ride.
Go, Bennings. I gotta get some sleep.
Do you agree with our list? What other movie monsters terrify you? For more scary good top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
is the hour. Ours is the magic. Ours is the power.
These are not your grandmother's bed knobs and broomsticks. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 scariest movie witches. For this list, we're taking a look at those positively terrifying women who just so happen to be endowed with the power of the dark arts.
So, you won't take warning, eh? All the worse for you.
Whether they're bestowing ancient curses on the heads of the innocent, or just getting revenge on those who crossed them in the past, these witches mean business. Deadly business.
Away with him. But gently, my pets. Gently. I have plans for our royal guest.
Number 10, Haggis, Pumpkinhead.
She can't help him. All she can do is take you straight to hell.
What's a grief-stricken father to do to seek revenge on the teens that accidentally killed his son? Head directly to the local witch to ask for her help in committing murder by summoning an ancient monster with the intention of directing its deadly wrath on the teenagers, of course.
Who are you? Good Harley. I thought.
Afraid raising the dead ain't within my power.
Skulking in the shadows and constantly silhouetted by creepy firelight, the witch is every bit as frightening as the demon they commissioned for the killing spree.
Sure his father's taking care of him.
With her thinning hair and crepe paper skin, she's far past the benefits of a good deep condition and facial treatment.
God damn you, God damn you. He already has, son.
But hey, looks aren't everything, right?
You can go now, Ed Hardy.
Number 9, Ellie Kedward, also known as the Blair Witch. The Blair Witch Project.
Is that the Blair Witch? No, I think it's Heather taking a piss.
Sometimes it's what you don't see that's scariest.
I love you, Mom. Dad. I'm so sorry.
That's the case with this found footage pioneer, which follows 3 film students as they traverse Maryland to document the legendary Blair Witch.
Supposedly just wandered off, disappeared into the woods.
What knows supposedly about it? They wandered off.
What they learn is that several mysterious historical events in the area all trace their roots to a witch who was hanged in the 18th century and apparently had some unfinished business in the town.
Hello? Hello?
A tale of hauntings, kidnappings, and ceremonial murders begins falling into place, just as strange occurrences start befalling the young students.
Where is he? Where are you?
Whether she's a real witch or simply the product of years of combined legends, we'll never know for sure.
You guys say you know something about the Blair Witch?
Oh, I've heard the myth. I don't really believe much in it.
The myth?
That's all I think.
What'd you say, sir?
I said you damn fool kid will never learn. Yeah, that's what I heard.
Damn fool kids will never learn.
But we're scared either way. Number 8, Muriel, Hansel and Gretel, Witch Hunters.
But we learned a couple of things while trapped in that house. 1, never walk into a house made of candy. And 2, if you're gonna kill a witch, set her ass on fire.
This anachronistic, fable-based caper follows the story of Hansel and Gretel, who've grown up into professional witch hunters after their childhood trauma in the gingerbread house. They've been hired to thwart a plan by a local coven of witches that involves kidnapping children and blood sacrifices and moons and the like.
He's ready.
Their efforts bring them face to face with the Grand Witch Muriel. Muriel might be easy on the eyes, but that changes quick when she morphs into witch mode.
There's
7, The Wicked Witch of the West, The Wizard of Oz.
Nobody sees
I'll
us
get
anymore.
you, my pretty, and your little dog, too.
L. Frank Baum first penned this classic story of Dorothy and her dog Toto, who've been transported to a magical realm after being caught up in a twister.
We must be over the rainbow.
They're trying to return home and have been tasked with retrieving a broomstick by the mysterious Wizard of Oz.
Bring me the broomstick of the Witch of the West.
But if we do that, we'll have to kill her to get it.
Bring me her broomstick, and I'll grant your request.
Of course, that means they have to go toe-to-toe against a green-faced shrew who has a bone to pick with Dorothy after she killed her sister and made off with her magical slippers.
Take special care of those ruby slippers. I want those most of all. Now fly! Fly!
Characterized by her pointy witch's hat and even pointier facial features, this evil enchantress set the standard for all evil witches to come.
How about a little fire, Scarecrow?
Number 6, The Open Hearth Witch, The Wicked.
What, are you nervous?
No, there's just other things in the dark I'd rather do.
As they're wont to do, a group of meddling teenagers decides that there's no better way to test their mettle than to mess with the supernatural, with deadly results.
Hurry up, it's gonna die. Hi, I'm Max Reese at Open Hearth. You find this. Hurry up. Burn that house down. The Wicked is real.
The film follows the story of a group of teens who makes the ill-advised decision to throw rocks at an abandoned house to see if the legendary Open Hearth Witch will show up and attempt to murder them all.
Crap.
Which, of course, she does. Hearing a legend that a witch needs to eat kids for their youth and vitality should have been the first hint that there wouldn't be twinkling wands and yellow brick roads in their future. Number 5, Maleficent, Sleeping Beauty.
Frank, Maleficent, what does she want?
Here, Harley. I thought.
Afraid raising the dead ain't within my power.
Skulking in the shadows and constantly silhouetted by creepy firelight, the witch is every bit as frightening as the demon they commissioned for the killing spree.
Sure his father's taking care of
With her thinning hair and crepe paper skin, she's far past the benefits of a good deep condition and facial treatment.
Goddamn you! He already has some.
But hey, looks aren't everything, right?
You can go now, Ed Hardy.
Number 9, Ellie Kedward, also known as the Blair Witch. The Blair Witch Project.
Is that the Blair Witch? No, I think it's Heather taking a piss.
Sometimes it's what you don't see that's scariest.
I love you, Mom. Dad. I'm so sorry.
That's the case with this found footage pioneer, which follows 3 film students as they traverse Maryland to document the legendary Blair Witch.
Supposedly just wandered off, disappeared into the woods.
What supposedly about it? They wandered off.
What they learn is that several mysterious historical events in the area all trace their roots to a witch who was hanged in the 18th century and apparently had some unfinished business in the town.
Hello? Hello?
A tale of hauntings, kidnappings, and ceremonial murders begins falling into place, just as strange occurrences start befalling the young students.
Where is he? Where are you?
Whether she's a real witch or simply the product of years of combined legends, we'll never know for sure.
You guys say you know something about the Blair Witch?
Oh, I've heard the myth. I don't really believe much in it.
The myth?
That's all I think of it.
What'd you say, sir?
I said you damn fool kid will never
Yeah, that's what I...
Damn fool kids will never learn.
But we're scared either way. Number 8, Muriel, Hansel and Gretel, Witch Hunters.
But we learned a couple of things while trapped in that house. 1, never walk into a house made of candy. And 2, if you're gonna kill a witch, Set her ass on fire.
This anachronistic, fable-based caper follows the story of Hansel and Gretel, who've grown up into professional witch hunters after their childhood trauma in the gingerbread house.